The calendar is June 2012, and I got a message for you. Happy Hunger Games, and may the odds be ever in your favor. Or at least that was my theme for June 2012. Now, June 2012 is like one of those months that just happens, you're excited for a movie coming out, but you don't know what it's going to be rated, and you just feel your heart beating, so worried about its rating, but I'll speak about that in a future calendar, probably. But, June was a month where, it starts summer, you finish your homeschooling, and you're excited. So, yeah. So I decided, because in March 2012, I had seen the movie The Hunger Games in theaters with my sister. Now, it was a great, awesome movie. I mean, not awesome as much as the fighting, but it just built into the emotion that, it just builds into the emotion of The Hunger Games. When I first heard of The Hunger Games, it was actually quite a while before the movie came out, actually. So, there was this book called The Hunger Games, but I had no idea what it was. But I was reading this book series called Gregor the Overlander. And then I decided to look up what else had this author made. And apparently, the author had also written a book series called The Hunger Games. So I read The Hunger Games, and I didn't know that it was super popular when I read it, but apparently it was super popular. It was like one of the most popular book series of all time. So I had no idea how popular The Hunger Games was when I read it. I didn't read it because it was popular, but because of Gregor the Overlander. And it was a little confusing how it was first person and present tense. Like, how do you write a story when the story's busy taking place? But, after a while I got used to it, and it was a great book. And then it finally was made into a movie, and, when you just have to wonder, what is it going to look like when it's made into a movie, And then it comes out, and it's, like, really great. It followed closely to the book. And so, yeah, it was a pretty exciting movie to come out. And so, yeah, I watched it. So, I decided to make it into a calendar, and it became my June 2012 calendar. Okay, so the movie is about Katniss Everdeen being selected, her sister selected to compete in the Hunger Games, but she really loves her sister, so she can't let her younger sister go into the Hunger Games, so she volunteers as tribute, and that has become one of the most popular phrases or quotes in movie history, other than "I am your father," which is probably number one. So yeah, it's become pretty popular. The Hunger Games was popular. So yeah, we saw it at the movie theater in Laurel, because that was the new movie theater that had opened up. And yeah, I realized that the guy from Journey 2 was in this movie, and his name is Josh Hutcherson, who's also in the Thora, and so yeah, he's been acting for quite a while. So the color scheme, it was basically black for the background, because you know how Hunger Games is. Like, the cover of the first one was black, and then there's it's a dark kind of scheme. And then I decided to add orange, because, if you look at posters and stuff, you'll discover that, there's a lot of fire, so, in the posters. So I decided that was the best way to go, to add a little bit of fire, orange and yellow. I also decided that it would be awesome to add arrows right here, because Katniss' favorite weapon is bow and arrow. So I ended up creating a bunch of just like these long lines, and then I put these triangles at the end of the lines to do arrows. And it was sort of unintentional, but like here at the center forms the letters H, as in the Hunger Games. I don't know why. So the double arrows don't really make sense, because, like, how would you shoot a double arrow? I mean, how would it soar through the air? There's no feather at the end, but, you know, it's like, it's more like a double-sided spear, I guess. It's a little confusing, but, yeah. It's how life goes with these arrows. And so the H stands for Hunger Games, even though it was unintentionally added here, as you can see. Line, line, and line. And so there's an H. The arrows alternate in directions as you go. And actually, I don't know why the games are called the Hunger Games, other than that people go hungry, but that's not the main point of the games. But, you know, everybody ignores that. I guess. But it's still a great movie. So yeah. Here was... Wow, that did not go as I planned. Here is a poster of Katniss looking out in the direction of, whatever it's called, President Snow's chair or whatever, looking out. There's audiences all around, and Katniss and Peeta are on the screens. This was a poster that actually was, like, at the movie theater, and so I thought it was cool and decided to add it to my calendar. Here is a picture of Katniss Everdeen with an arrow, bow and arrow, and here's her preparing to shoot the arrow, probably in around the same place. Here is probably a different, let's see. No, that's probably the same place. She's hunting with Gale, and so, her friend Gale, and yeah, at the beginning of the movie. Here is the movie poster I showed earlier with Katniss, and this is also the case cover. This is probably the most famous movie poster for the series. And, so yeah, decided to select that for the calendar. Here are Peeta and Katniss in the preparing to go into the games. I don't got many in-game pictures for some reason, but I guess I couldn't find any for my calendar. It's probably the reason. So yeah, it was one of those things that, you know, it was exciting. So let's go to the boxes here. Last month's theme was Super Mario Galaxy, and I'm not going to say it in the cheesy voice this time, because, yeah, it's probably going to be embarrassed when everybody realizes that sound effects was there. Next month's theme is not yet to be revealed, because, yeah. Let's see. Here are some places. On the 5th, Journey 2 was on DVD. I did not put Journey 2 on my first calendar, the calendar that it came to theaters, because I didn't know it was coming to theaters that month. But then when it came to DVD, I decided to put it onto my calendar, because I had seen it by then. Okay, so Madagascar 3 in theaters. This is the third Madagascar movie. It's where they join a circus. Yeah. So if you want to join a circus, then watch that movie even though you're not joining it. Here's Flag Day. And I put a star next to it because, although I don't know why I put that space. I put a star next to it because, you know, on Flag Day, just stuff happens. There's flags and there's days. I don't know exactly what it's for. Here's Father's Day, but since we didn't get to see our dad much that year, we didn't have a huge idea of celebrating it, but we're gonna have something next month, and I'll mention it then. Lego Batman 2 DC Superheroes in stores. Now, I haven't mentioned that yet. I didn't put DC Superheroes on it, but I added that later with my voice. So Lego Batman 2 was in stores. Yeah, I think I had got the first Lego Batman this year, and yeah, it was pretty cool, the video game. And so, played Lego Batman, the first one, and the second one was coming to stores very soon. And so that was fun. This is the first day of summer. Yeah, these stars. There's a space before them, I don't know why. After them. But the first day of summer, is just one of those days that, you know, it's warm and everything. And Brave in theaters. This is the one I was mentioning. I'll probably mention it later, you know, because it just said something that it was darker and more mature in tone for Pixar movie. That's what it said on Wikipedia, and so I was getting really concerned about its rating, but I'll probably mention it in the future. I was so excited when I found out that it only had some mild stuff in it, which I still don't recommend that content, but as a movie itself, it wasn't that bad. So yeah, as far as what it would be rated for, it wasn't horrible. So yeah, Pixar didn't ruin any reputation that year. And then basically the month ends on a Saturday, so my next month's theme or whatever is all the way up here near the top. So next month's theme will be Journey 2. Okay, so I have no idea why I did not put any subtitles on this calendar, like Journey to the Mysterious Island or anything. But yeah, I did italicize it and everything. And so, yeah, if you want to come back for Journey 2 calendar, that's great. And I hope you enjoyed the Hunger Games calendar, and it's a great movie also. But, yeah, if you want to watch the Hunger Games, you probably could. It's great. And thanks for watching. Bye.